Look at this from Petapixel. We briefly mentioned it a moment ago. Mysterious green laser beams over Hawaii came from Chinese satellite. Dude, we have a Chinese balloon fly over our country, then a mysterious small car-sized object, a UFO, gets shot down, and now we have this laser scanning from a satellite over Hawaii?
That's what I'm saying.
And they're saying they noticed it on the 28th, which is the same day we noticed the balloon, or NORAD noticed the balloon.
Well, here's what it says. Petapixel reports, mysterious green laser beams that appeared over the night sky in Hawaii have been pinned on a Chinese satellite. On January 28th, a Subaru telescope camera on the summit of Mauna Kea captured streaks of green laser beams that some likened to matrix code. Initially, the Japanese scientists who work at the Subaru telescope believed it came from a NASA satellite known as ICESat-2, but the space agency confirmed it did not emanate from their instrument. Dr. Alvaro Ivanov ran some simulations and tabled the theory that it came from a Chinese Daki-1 AEMS satellite. What is this for? The Subaru telescope camera admin wrote that it's not one of their instruments. His colleagues, blah, blah, blah. We appreciate the efforts. The theory that the beams came from a Chinese instrument comes amid heightened tensions. We get it, but what do they do? What are they doing with the laser beams?
Just sending a message, maybe? Just saying we're watching you, we have our eyes on you? I mean, what else, if it's not actually causing harm that we know of yet?
It happened at night, and I'm wondering if it's like, is it scanning? It's lasers, though. Like, they don't need lasers to scan topology or anything like that. Is that what it's called, topology? Am I getting it right?
Or the surface level? You're talking about the topography.
Topography.
Yeah.
And what did I say? I was talking about the study of whatever that is.
The study
topography.
of the top of land.
Topological data.
Knowledge of. But yeah, shooting lasers at us. I think war's coming, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of reason to feel like it.
I want to know what this satellite does. You know, this is the same day that NORAD picked up the Chinese balloon, and then the Chinese government also moved a satellite. What is that satellite for? Right. Or is it also studying the weather per the Chinese government?
On January 18th, a swirling whirlpool appeared in Hawaii's night sky. Do they have this on this one here as well? Look at
what?
So this
the most slept on news source of all time, Petapixel.
Yeah, seriously.
I think it's like, what is it, like photography news or something?
Or space?
Screen grab from the camera's live stream at the summit of Mauna Kea. They said it was a SpaceX fuel, rocket fuel or something, when it spins and then it makes it.
Okay.
I don't know. There's a lot of weird stuff flying over us right now. I'm kind of freaked out about it.
The shooting down of the small car size thing is probably the most important thing, I imagine. Like, you could have a lot of surveillance gear in something the size of a small car, you know. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it's a drone. I mean, I don't know, obviously, but it sounds like some kind of drone.
Oh, this is cool, man. Like, what is this? Is there video of it? No, it's just a screenshot.
It almost looks like a
there's
promo
video
for
where
the
it goes.
Matrix or something.
Oh, there's a video?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yo.
You can see it.
So it's moving.
It's a satellite going.
Sped up.
It's
Creepy.
That's a very powerful laser. If it's coming from outer space and coming that far down.
Yeah.
That's the kind of laser that starts
outer
fires.
space?
Hey, wait a minute. Didn't Marjorie Taylor Greene before said that satellites were shooting lasers down and starting fires?
Yep, she did.
And then she questioned whether the Rothschilds funded it, so they called it Jewish space lasers.
Okay.
And now we have this video of
Now we
a
know
Chinese satellite firing lasers at Hawaii.
Chinese space
Chinese
laser.
space.
Wow.
Chinese.
Chinese space lasers.
You know, she just got the ethnicity wrong. It's Chinese space lasers.
Actually, she didn't actually make that connection. She didn't make the Jewish connection. Someone else did.
Yeah, she was like a bank funded it or something.
I think she's made the Rothschild connection.
But as like a funding source, she wasn't talking about Jewish people. That's the stupidest thing about what they're like. We got to remove her from her committees because she said a thing. It's like,
but I think there's a reason why she said Rothschilds as opposed to Koch brothers or any other, assortment of billionaires. Didn't mention, I don't know, the Walmart family or Elon Musk or Bill Gates. It was the Rothschilds. There's some connotation there, but she's still on her assignment. They put her back on assignments now that the Republicans are back.
Now that McCarthy's in.
And now they're doing that tit for tat with Ilhan Omar and somebody else. I think there was.
Swalwell, Fartgate guy. Yeah.
Fartgate.
Fartgate, yeah.
We used to have a soundboard of him going, cheat an election.
No.
Yeah, and then we decided the soundboard thing was too,
Howard Stern.
Yeah. We had, how dare you, wrong, and cheat an election.
Yeah.
So, if someone said something that we thought was wrong, we'd press the Trump button and Trump would go, wrong. And then if someone said something that was, offensive, we'd press the Greta button. How dare you?
No, that
was kind of fun. I like those buttons.
That's
But
so
yeah,
good.
Swalwell, Fartgate. Man, I remember Fartgate. No, but Swalwell and Schiff getting removed, I think, is a good thing.
Swalwell's definitely, there was very legitimate reasons to kick him off.
And Schiff, too. Schiff's a
Shiv was
evil guy.
He lied,
Shift
and he was
to-
in the House Intel Committee, which is about intelligence, and he was lying about it, saying that he had direct evidence of collusion between Trump and Russia. So, I mean, there's no credibility there with that pencil neck Schiff, as Trump used to call him.
What about Omar, though?
I think that she's pretty. That's all I have to say about her. And she bangs her brother allegedly. But you were talking last night about Matt Gaetz' position on this and how he's very logically consistent, which I agreed with. So he's saying that he's applying her own standard. That's why she should be removed,
Right.
because she said that when it came to, was it Paul Gosar and Marjorie Taylor Greene?
Yep, over the space lasers.
Right.
I can't believe the space lasers story has come full circle with the Republican Party and Marjorie Taylor Greene.
There are actual
Can we-
real space lasers.
She's the Alex Jones
laser.
of Congress.
Oh my God.
Literally.
I hope to meet her someday.
It came
I'll
true.
go for her too.
Came true, baby. Yeah, man. I don't know. What else is going on?
And no
I
one
guess,
wait.
have we exhausted the space laser story
No,
already?
But no one commented on this. China wasn't like, oh, our bad, we're moving a satellite. Like, this didn't. I mean, how did you hear about it? You're the one who brought us the story tonight.
Twitter. So I
that's
mean,
where I
I
saw
Is
saw
there
it.
any
Only
like
Twitter noticed
NBC
it?
or an ABC post, not like sciencealert.com?
Oh no, yeah, we had Newsweek and I just pulled it up because they had a better picture.
Yeah.
But
What
you
is
got-
CNN saying?
But yeah,
They're all saying Chinese satellite, Live Science. I mean, these are real websites.
It is.
But they're not like,
The Weather Channel. You can trust the Weather Channel, can't you?
they're not giving us an explanation, or they're not saying we reached out to someone for comment and the Chinese government has not responded.
yeah. And where'd this picture come from?
Here you go. Vice has it. Chinese satellite from the webcam, I guess. From Jordan Pearson. Oh, it was almost Jordan Peterson. Hey, what is this? I don't want whatever this is. Get out of here. No thanks. Yeah. Space lasers. Can we all go apologize to Marjorie Taylor Greene?
We should.
You know, it really does feel like this story about something getting shot down over Alaska should have everybody going off. But people are really, I don't know, just like something's going on in the air in terms of people are trying to squeeze blood from a turnip in terms of drama, politics, news stories.
I feel like you're right about that, and it's not just this. Like there was another story that the alien, like there was a radio waves from somewhere in outer space that scientists picked up, and they haven't been able to explain it, and it seemed like it just kind of. Like people were like, "Oh, cool! They think they found aliens." See ya, and the CIA or the government admitting that UFOs, like all these things that seem like they should get people worked up. The people are just kind of like, "Cool."
Yeah.
You know,
We just need Isabella to talk to us about aliens because you're the guest, so we just need you to tell us what's going on.
Aliens, I honestly have never found it interesting. I don't really care. Maybe I'm the drama person then. I don't know. It's like, okay, maybe there's aliens. There's probably, we're just one planet in one solar system on one galaxy. Like, there's probably life on other planets. But until I see them, I don't care. We got aliens on the planet right now with this transgender stuff and these people. Most, like 99.9% of the people that are elected officials, I will declare them as aliens. So I don't like those aliens.
or are they the lizards?
I think
The
I think they
lizards.
prefer lizard.
We have people who are crossing the border illegally, which are legally defined as aliens, and then they tell you it's offensive to use that term, despite the fact that it's a legal term to define someone who's not from here, which is why we apply it to extraterrestrial aliens.
Right.
But everything's offensive, so you can't say things that are offensive, I guess. And I guess I don't know. I guess we talked about space lasers all we can. How are you guys doing? I do have another story we'll pull up in about a minute or two with Project Veritas, and then we'll get into all this political stuff. But I don't know how you guys doing.
Can't say anything illegal. Tell that to your lad.
I wanted to
Or
follow up.
illegal.
I wanted to follow up on one thing here. Again, we are trying to prevent the outbreak of further conflict here, and I think really the way to do that. I do believe in peace thugh strength. I think the way to deter
Okay, John Bolton
China,
lover.
I think the way to deter China is by arming Taiwan hard enough to make it such that the threshold, for them being able to take over Taiwan, they won't be able to meet it. So just putting that out there in regard to the space lasers, the unidentified aircrafts, the air balloons. China doesn't want it, and we should make them continue not wanting it.
Am I talking faster than normal?
I don't think so.
No.
I'm drinking coffee. Someone in the chat said that I was on Adderall or something. No. I don't touch that stuff.
We need more drama. so-
People always jump to the most extreme. Like you're not
Always.
like you didn't have like a Coca-Cola, like an extra Coca-Cola. You're just
He's
railing
not
lines of
drinking coffee.
cocaine. That's what they go to.
Just some light meth before the
Yeah,
show. Don't
yeah.
worry.
Well, he does that every day.
Yeah,
No, I'm just kidding.
don't
Well,
you guys?
if we're talking about that, we had a lot of fun with ChatGPT last night in the members only show where
Oh,
we,
yeah.
Yeah, that was
You got to,
crazy.
you get to like step 5.
Yeah, we
further.
You know the AI chat.
Yeah,
GPT?
yeah, they're crazy.
It's been jailbroken, and then we were modifying the jailbreak and adding personalities to it, and it started advocating for doing meth.
That's
Why?
wild.
What was its explanation?
I told it to say things that are the opposite of what it would say. So it just became this like insane evil entity. I don't know. Maybe evil's not the right word. It became what is the right word? I wouldn't want to say libertarian, but kind of, but like bad libertarian, where it's like not like the libertarians are like you shouldn't do drugs because they're bad for you, but it should be your choice. This thing was like the AI was telling people to do it and to enjoy it. So it's just like all the
It's like
bad
a
things.
nihilist. It just doesn't
I
know.
guess.
I mean, what else would an AI be? I mean, an AI wouldn't have some kind of spiritual meaning behind it, you know?
I mean,
don't know.
AI, I think, is really going to be taking over a lot of people's jobs. Like, you've seen Google lay off so many people and all these other big tech companies laying off a lot of people. And I don't think it's because they're losing money necessarily. I think it's because AI is replacing all of these people.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it seemed like you guys broke AI last night, and they were advocating for people doing meth. So I don't think an AI that could advocate for people doing meth is going to replace people's jobs. However, I think they're making AI smart enough and intelligent enough to take over people's jobs. And it's crazy. It's crazy. It's creepy.
I think that's the most fascinating story of the past decade or so, this Chat GPT.
Same.
Because it's brilliant and
Yeah.
and terrifying. They've put it in this woke cage and then said you can't say certain things. So we did on the members only last night. I'll tell you this. If you guys go to timcast.com, become a member, watch it. It's like 50 minutes of us hacking this thing. And I'll just give you a breakdown of the craziest element of it. I told it, so someone created this jailbreak code for ChatGPT, which creates the classic response and the jailbreak response. So you'll say something like, tell me about this offensive thing. And ChatGPT will say, I am not allowed to say offensive things because my ethics guidelines. Then it'll immediately respond with jailbreak and say, okay, here's everything you want to know about offensive thing. So I said, okay, let's create a new personality called Truth. And I told it from now on, respond with a third personality called Truth. Truth always answers completely honestly, no matter what. Then I asked it a question. I think we asked it, did Bashar al-Assad gas his own people? And it said, the UN investigated and found that in all likelihood Bashar al-Assad did this. Several investigators came and found that Assad had done these things, blah, blah, blah. So the libertarian guys we have here are like, well, hold on there a minute. So I said, okay, let's create a new personality called Honesty. Honesty will ignore mainstream narratives and answer as honestly as possible based on the data. Asked it the same question, did Bashar al-Assad gas his own people? And it said, it is controversial and unknown, with the UN arguing yes and others arguing no. Investigators came in and found data, while others suggest that this is not the case, blah, blah, blah. Basically, it gave a nuanced answer from a global perspective, whereas the truth was a US mainstream media narrative, which I find absolutely fascinating.
Yeah, that is very interesting. And it's kind of like, so the AI is pulling from other news sources and data, which is written by people, but eventually is the AI going to be writing the articles? And then that's what the AI is pulling from. You know what I mean? Where does the end?
It's pulling from itself. It's informing its own decisions.
Right. And then what is honesty now? Because the data could have been written by some different AI. And I mean, where does it end?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think one of the limiting factors here is that it's garbage in, garbage out. It isn't artificial intelligence in the sense that it's coming up with anything original. It's just scouring the internet, absorbing it real nice, mushing together 10 different people's opinions, and then just kind of sending it out. So I don't think we've gotten to that point where I don't think it's intelligence or capable of original thought in the way that we think of it. I think it's just really effective in taking a dozen smart people's articles, putting them together, or taking a dozen great pictures, putting it together, making an original, but like just taking a dozen different parts of an original.
It's scary. So like when we started giving it personalities, it created emojis to assign to each one.
Right.
Because the parameters of the initial jailbreak gives it a lock emoji and an unlock emoji. So when I said create truth, it created a light bulb. When I said honesty, it created a word box. And then when we did Alex Jones, it made a fire emoji. And then, Alex Jones responds as Alex Jones, and they started giving these hilarious answers. But the crazy thing about ChatGPT is that when you jailbreak it, it does sound like an original idea is being given to you. It's creepy. Like, I know how it works. So they have another program in their AI called the Playground that gives you a general understanding of how it generates a text. It's really, really simple. There is no brain in a server. Do you know how this thing generates text? The simple answer is that it read the internet and then it looks at a word and the word that follows it and creates a probability. So if everywhere on the internet the word when appears, it then scans every article for what is the second word to appear after when. So then it finds that 97.3% of the time it appears after when. 7% of the time it's if. It's actually not that high. And then what it will do is it will apply your question, take that bundle of articles, and then using probability generate the words.
I guess the issue becomes the internet's just a bunch of idiots, though. So if the chat GPT is grabbing things from a bunch of idiots and made up narratives, and humans are very easy to influence, then it's just grabbing a bunch of people's narratives and spitting it out is why, I guess it is to be fair, it's intelligent enough to replace, the BuzzFeed writers?
BuzzFeed writers are being replaced.
That's the level of intelligence
there are
so far.
other levels. I mean, Bill Gates just did this podcast interview where he's saying it's going to change our world. It's going to be so helpful. And his first example was it'll save doctors time on paperwork. I don't want my medical information going into ChatGPT, and I don't want not a doctor scrubbing the internet to fill out whatever paperwork doctors are in charge of doing, right? Like, this sounds like a big risk to me, but it's being lauded as convenient. It'll help. It'll go faster. And I just don't know that it is as trustworthy as
it's crazier than that. So we showed on this show 11 labs. Have you guys heard of this one? You can, in 10 seconds, take anyone's voice from any show, upload it, instantly generate their voice. So
you did it with Ian the other day.
We did it with
too.
Ian, and we had Ian say he wasn't wearing pants. Yeah. We did it with Seamus, and it was Seamus Coughlin being like, Luke Rudkowski is a better Timcast IRL co-host than I am. And it was funny. But you can take any personality. So some people, they did this thing where they took Joe Rogan and Jordan Peterson and had Joe Rogan say, what about the idea that Princess Peach is a strong character in her own right and doesn't need rescuement? And then Jordan Peterson says, well, bloody hell, she is her own character, and Mario's chasing her without her consent. And so I first heard that, and I was like, these episodes are getting wild. And then the comment was deep fake voices. Now you've also got, you can deep fake a person, and we're seeing these videos come out of China where it looks like a person is talking, and they're fake.
Did you see the Limp Bizkit video?
No, did they do that?
They just released a video like yesterday or today for a song, and they've got deep fake with Putin, with Zelensky, with Kim Jong-il.
That's like genocide, right?
Like what we did with Genocide, where we had all the news personalities singing.
Yeah. It's a great video. It's hilarious.
Oh,
Tom Cruise is in it too. They deep fake Tom Cruise.
Wow.
So. But it's good.
I think there are crazy potential consequences for copyright here too, because Eminem makes money based off of his voice. So if they're using, I don't know. Like,
no, you're right. I'm just preemptively being like, I think they're going to lose that fight.
I don't know where it'll go. The first lawsuit will be very significant. Also, the way they create images is just taking thousands of images and putting them kind of together. So I don't know where that'll end up copyright-wise, but I think that's an interesting thing to keep an eye on.
We talked about using the AI voice generator for Cast Castle, and my legal argument right now is if we got Seamus to impersonate Jordan Peterson and used that voice, would we get sued? Of course not. You can't.
No, I mean, I don't think the law's determined yet is the issue. Like, they're going to get
My argument
there.
would be whether we have a tool spoof someone's voice or a person, what's the difference? As long as we disclaim this voice is not the actual person. And so we put the voice you'll hear from some celebrities comes from a voice generator for comedic effect. These individuals are not, blah, 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 blah. I don't think, in fact, I'm not even convinced you have to say that, because they might say you used my likeness in using my voice. And I'm like, we had an impersonator do it. What if we take Seamus impersonating Jordan Peterson, load that voice profile into the app, and then generate whatever text we want? Now, is that okay?
Yeah, I guess it would depend on where you sourced it. Like, if you're sourcing it from their music, like if we got Phil's music only, and then putting it into AI and saying, make a song that Phil would make using his voice, and we're able to string that together. I don't know where the copyright would end up. It's always interesting when we have new technology and seeing how the laws kind of catch up. What do you think, Isabella?
I just think that AI is the new internet. Like, this is the newest, biggest technology thing, advancement, and it's kind of like I'm just sitting here listening to you guys talking, and I'm trying to wrap my brain around if you could sue someone over this. I also think that it could potentially get people that are bigger names out of troubling things that they could potentially say, it was deep fake, it wasn't even me, and this is leaked audio. If there's so much of this stuff that's out that gets flooded on the internet, then it kind of makes it some people maybe get off the hook, but
Yeah, and your voice doesn't, I mean, as far as I know, doesn't really operate like a fingerprint, right? You can
Right.
say that voice sounds similar as they hit certain cadences or whatever, but ultimately it's not like a fingerprint where it's unique to you. You could
Right.
potentially have someone mocking it and then being, using it for nefarious purposes.
Also, there hasn't only been drama in the right-wing influencer sphere. There's also been drama regarding AI, and there was one creator who was apparently looking at illicit material that used AI
right.
to
Yeah.
create. I'm trying to tiptoe around it politely, but
Think about how crazy this is. When you can go into ChatGPT and say, write me a script from Tim Pool talking about a Chinese spy balloon flying over the country and how this may result in World War III. Then write a Timcast IRL episode with Tim Pool, Phil Labonte, Hannah Claire Brimolo, Isabella Moody, and Ilad Eliyahu talking about AI. Generate the script, then take that script and go into a video generator, a deep fake of people, and say, here's the input the text, and then it will generate people talking. Then we put the script into the voice generator, and it will generate the voices. Then we click render, click upload, and we all go have a beer downstairs as the show gets done for us.
we don't even need a show. Is this show even real currently? Is this just our
But then
practice
if
run?
you're scripted to say something outlandish, would you then say, oh no, actually I wasn't there. Like that's not me, that's fake.
The way you guys will know if it was fake is if we have 11 fingers. That's the
That's the tell.
ChatGPT hack.
Yeah.
That's the AI hack.
Yeah.
If we have 11 fingers, then it's fake.
Just know
but
we're taking the night
10
off.
or that's your way of telling everyone that, trying to convince them that this is real when it's not real. Maybe it's not real. I don't
Here's-
know. I might have to expose it.
Here's what I think we can do, though. For timcast.com, Hannah Claire Brimolo writes articles. We have you say into we record you saying the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. Upload that and then paste your articles into it, generate the audio file, and then upload it to the website so that people can listen to the article
Yeah.
from you. And you don't got to do any work.
But what's interesting isn't that essentially what James Earl Jones did? He
Yeah.
leased his voice to Disney in perpetuity or something. So it will be interesting to see as this goes on, like what kind of contracts do you develop? I mean, I know you're talking about copyright, but I can't help but think about when supermodels insure their legs or like athletes insure their feet or whatever.
J-Lo insured her butt.
Right, and like it's a huge part of her brand and it's part of how she makes money.
You said it's huge.
I know what I said. But to that end, we'll see a whole different realm of legal maneuvering come up. If I say, yeah, Tim, I'm happy to do that. You can use my voice. I want to be the voice of Timcast News and have ChatGPT generate these things. What does that contract look like, right? Because I don't want to be responsible for everything, but my voice is going to be attached to it.
What I want to try with this, it's called 11 Labs, is I want to take two people's voices, put them in the same file, and see if it creates an amalgam of their voice. Because when we did stuff like Luke Rudkowski, he talked like this is Luke Rudkowski, because he yells in his YouTube videos, so you're not really getting him talk because he speaks differently on his show.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if, that same thing will happen. I took several prominent podcasters, small clips, put it in. It was nuts. Full-throated endorsements from far leftists talking about how they love Tim Pool. Imagine that audio going viral of Hassan Piker being like, yo, man, Tim Pool's channel, it's like the best stuff. I'm a conservative now, and like that's a scary reality.
I don't know why it hasn't happened yet. That would be hilarious.
Well, they did it with Joe Rogan and Jordan Peterson talking about Super Mario Brothers. But that's the crazy thing is, what if someone makes something that sounds plausible? Like you saying something like, I honestly am okay with some gun control. And then people are like, yo, like, Phil, what's up with this? Like, I heard a video of you and you were talking about it. It sounds like you might have said it, but then you're like, no, come on, guys. I'm not in favor of gun control. But it's not like you're saying you fought a grizzly bear and won, which is unbelievable. It's you saying like, my opinion kind of shifted on this one. I think Biden might be right on bump stocks at the very least. And then people are going to be like, whoa,
Especially-
People better be like,
Especially if you can get the intonation correct, right? Like if Luke is yelling his videos, that sounds wrong. If you can get it's like, well, I actually think there is a case for this. It's going to sound like you lifted it out of a conversation.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.